those won't matter. That's where having a proper corporate formation, and if you want it to be a general partnership, you can, but that's where having someone that walks you through the steps that says, this is the pros and cons of having a partnership. This is the pros and cons of having a incorporation with shares. This is the pros and cons of having an LLC where there are membership percentages. And every different format is, I mean, they all exist and they fit for their own needs. I'm not saying that one is going to be better than the other, but that's where having someone, even just consult. I mean, if you pay someone for half an hour to learn what are the different steps, there are, small business is the engine of our country.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
And virtually every state that I've ever looked into, because I've had clients that have moved around and I've helped them find, because Washington's very simple. We've got a great Secretary of State's website and almost everything begins there if you want to form a corporate entity. And so I look at other states that's usually that is where they have, or maybe they have their own specific Department of Corporations. And they have the forms where if you spend the time and you want to do it without an attorney, you can figure it out. But where a lot of people need a little help in, paying for what they say, the joke is a nickel's worth of free advice. Well, go to an attorney, pay for half an hour, and have them say, here's our situation. Can you tell us the pros, cons, benefits, costs associated with doing it this way versus this way? Or what would you recommend? Because you might be able to form it yourself. Now, obviously, the larger the issues and the more people involved, the more complex it can get. But even, I will also say that even a one-person business can become complex.
Yes.
If you're handling, say you've decided to become a gasoline distributor and shipper, and it's just you and your one gasoline truck, and you want to go out and serve areas. Well, I bring that up as an example because there are special laws that relate to the liabilities of associated with transporting gasoline.
Yeah.
And so, it's not something you would necessarily do without having the proper format. So, it is an investment. And talking with an attorney, different attorneys charge different rates, and it is just an investment in your business. And I would say talk to your tax consultant because that expense may be a business deduction in your situation where, the time you spend with an attorney, the amount of money you spend may actually end up saving you hundreds of thousands, if not more. And really avoiding a worst case scenario. That's what I always tell people is said, the worst case scenario doesn't happen to everyone, but it does happen to some, and I would hate it if it happened to you.
Yes. Well, and I think too, whenever you're working with small business, a lot of times what you get, and that is, business costs money. It just does.
That's right.
And if you don't lay your foundation, of course, one of the ways that we look at it is that, one, we want your business set up to the point that you have to grow into the structure, because to restructure is, well, we're just going to leave that alone. It's painful and it can be crazy and you can lose
very expensive if you stop and think about it. Yeah.
But if you have enough, so sometimes I'll ask, why did you choose an S corp over a C corp, or why did you, you're really doing sole proprietorship, but you've done an LLC. So having those discussions is totally worth hiring the attorney, talking to your CPA or I would do a CPA over an accountant if I'm getting that type of advice.
Yeah.
But so Brent, I want to call you. I've got a partnership. I don't know what I'm doing. I need contracts.
I got a co-host. I don't know what I'm doing.
Bills and contract. Oh, trust me.
Well, again, my phone number is 425-830-5134. My website is bwrconsults.com. And I'm also on Facebook. You can just search BWR Consulting PLLC. And I love talking with people. I will more than happily give people 5-10 minutes on the phone. I will also even schedule a sit-down meeting to come meet with people free of charge, just to help them understand, because I really got into the business. If you heard my prior podcast, I got into this business to be a service, and making sure people are taken care of is really my number one priority, which is why I'm going to say every business not only needs their attorney, but they need to have an insurance person. My prior
Yes.
experience was as an insurance attorney, and if you're going out there, the number one way to protect yourself, and it's not as expensive as people will think,
No.
is to call and get commercial liability insurance.
Yes.
And obviously, if you're transporting gasoline, your insurance costs are going to be more expensive than if you are offering to
co-host with Candace
yes,
Thompson.
exactly. I mean, the business
much
exposure
expensive.
will be much less. But again, if this table were to collapse on top of me and I would have to file a suit because you've broken my legs, that would go to your insurance. Always make your insurance the target of whatever your business is, that you have enough liability coverage. So that way you will be able to continue to thrive, especially as a small startup business, because nothing can quash your dreams more than one mistake that you have to pay for out of pocket that ends up making you lose everything.
I sit down with my insurance guy once a year. We go over everything. If I do anything, I got event insurance just because if I choose to do an event, and of course, I don't believe in scrimping, okay, because you never know. It's not if, it's when.
Right.
So, you want to cover your assets. And I think that, the first three relationships you should develop, starting a business as an attorney, the insurance guy, a CPA, and those are the types of things that I think are absolutely involved. And eventually your banker.
Right.
So, if you already don't have that. But make your attorney your friend. And I think
that's what
really
I try to do with my
important.
clients.
Well, tonight I'm excited because the show's almost concluded, and you're not going to get the last word today because you've already run over your yak time. So I'm going to get the last word.
I just want you to know that Bill is moving his hands like yak, like a bird squawking.
Squawking bird.
Yes, you're the squawking bird.
Wonderful.
I should get you a mascot t-shirt.
Yeah, please do. Hey, it's been great. Until we can see you again, remember, keep on smiling.